What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out US and Indonesian Marines training in Indonesia. This is exercise, is it CARAT? C-A-R-A-T? CARAT Indonesia 2024 in May of 2024. This is by Times Archive. I love this channel because it is just like raw footage of military training. And I feel like, yes, I like the videos where there's dialogue over it, explaining it, but I also like the videos where we're watching it together and breaking down the video and slowing it down and looking at the equipment and the exercises they're actually doing, asking questions and having discussions in the comment section. They're some of the best videos, and I really, really like them, and Times Archive do a lot of them. Obviously, if you want to watch the video without me waffling over the top, it's down in the description below. As always, if you want to watch the video without me talking over it, you can go down there and do it. The video's broken down. It's like an 11-minute video. Live firing range, amphibious assault training, which is something that I can break down quite a bit. Jungle surviving training, military operations on urban terrain. Mark 19 grenade launcher, live firing range, 60mm mortar live firing range, demolition range, and amphibious operations utilizing combat rubber raiding craft, or as we called them in the Royal Marines, rigid raiders. So this is going to be super interesting. I don't think I've got anything else to announce just yet. A couple things coming up very soon that I'm excited to announce to you. Down in the description, you will see links to all of my equipment, Amazon affiliate links. If you click on them and buy something, it helps support the channel. So any of this equipment, the mic, the headphones, blah, 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 it's all down in the description if you want to check that out. Other than that, I think that's it. Let's shut up. Let's bring this up. Let's have some fun. Up me head's high up here. Let's bring it down a little bit from the last video. Yeah, let's get into this. I'm excited. Times Archives. They do some really good videos. If you're not subscribed to them already, I highly recommend you go over. Okay, so it looks like it's the US that's taking charge of the range. Bandar Lumpung. I do like this very, like, it's like old school camouflage, isn't it? It's like the Combat 95s that we had in the Royal Marines, but a little bit brighter in colors. I swear he wasn't looking down the sight then when he shot a bunch of rounds. Yeah, I guess he was. Let me turn it down a little bit. A lot of movement in his rifle when he was shooting then. This guy's using the bipod. My head's just in the way, but he's using the bipods as a way to hold the weapon. I'm actually a big fan of this. I think it's a great way to stabilize the weapon. We used, we had a second handle on the SA-80. When it got, just before it turned to the A3, it was adapted into, it had like this front, it basically had the same front here, where it's kind of similar here. It had the Picatinny rails, and it had like this handle on the very front that turned into bipod legs. And we would utilize that to really pull into your shoulder. And he's just doing the same thing there, really, isn't he? Nice mustache. Like it. Wish I knew the distance they were shooting at there. It also looks like they've got very similar kit on the back here. Oh, these are two American ones. That's why. I thought it was the same people. They got the dump bag and all that lot. Let me see some of the Indonesian kit. I feel like we've seen a lot of... He's got his Milwaukee gloves. Classic Milwaukee gloves right there. Let's look at this guy's equipment. The comms equipment on the helmet's so much different than the British. Or it was when I was in anyway. So much more different. All right, what are they using there? SIG? I kind of want to get a... Oh, never mind. We're moving on to the next thing. Amphibious assault. Okay, this is something that I'm very much familiar with. What? Wait a second. Where's that guy shooting there? Let me just go back a little bit. This guy just shot up in the air. Like, what's the point of that? Is it just suppressive fire? Is that what they're trying to do? Suppressive fire there? That's very interesting. So amphibious assault, there's different stages to an amphibious assault. that we do in the Royal Marines, where we take charge of the area that we're assaulting, right? So we get onto the beach, we form kind of like a semicircle on the ground, just giving ourselves, you know, a certain amount of viewpoints around the area and kind of taking charge of the area. It looks like these are kind of just going straight into the woodlands. Obviously, with any amphibious assault, it really depends on the scenario, the terrain, and the situation and what's going on. You wouldn't just go onto the beach and sit there in that semicircle if you're under fire, like, constantly. You're going to want to get into cover. But at the same time, it's about, just like, I tell you what, which I think is a really good example. If you know anything about CQB, close quarter combat, it's close quarter battle, basically fighting in urban areas and clearing rooms and stuff like that. You know that every inch of movement, every inch of gain is really important when it comes to clearing spaces. Now, if you can take that and extrapolate it into a wider area, which could be a beach or something like that, you're basically trying to push your safe territory further and further up. And so what we would do is we would bring on these landing vessels, right? We would hit the beach. We would storm out and we would form a semicircle, basically taking observation and keeping an eye out in every single direction that you possibly can. And that basically gives you a defensive structure where in the center there, you've got a little bit of a safe space. And then you push forward from there, or you move to the left, you move to the right, whatever you need to do, depending on the situation. It looks like, I don't know whether they've just cut that out here or whether they've just gone straight in from the water, straight into the wooded area. Different SOPs for different troops, so it's a little bit different. So obviously, this gives me a bit of anxiety. People just walking around here. No, it doesn't look like there's many people looking out. For us, when we're doing stuff like this in the Royal Marines, there is always people on guard. There's like, if there's people who have to do comms, who have to chat, who have to square stuff away, there's always people on guard. And we might just not be seeing that here. We've got people here pretending to be dead. Like, there could just be people out in the distance here. Maybe that's someone back there. I'm not too sure. And we might just be seeing the part where they've already taken and they're getting comms and squaring stuff away and getting a bit more organized here. Like, these people here are facing inwards. I understand the need for having security over these people on the ground, because some of them might not actually be dead, right? Or pretending to be dead, and they might actually just pull up a weapon and shoot. This guy should be doing that as well. He's just walking over. But these guys should have their gun, like, raised right here, right? And there should be people... This, like, if anything, there should be one person facing each person. There should be someone facing outwards, looking out here. But at the same time, we don't know what else is going on. We're just seeing a very small clipped footage of here. This guy might be, you know, on guard that whole time while they're all doing that other stuff, although I think he should have his weapon pointing up. There's another guy right here, but you don't know what the scenario is. We're just getting clips of footage here, aren't we?
Can't go. We gotta go around it. All right, find a way around. It's a low spot right here. All right.
Dripping with sweat. Humidity must be really high. So obviously we've got a lot of people around. So they're in some sort of lined formation here. Obviously we did a lot of that in training, but when you do stuff like when we did stuff like pre-deployment training, I did 6 months of pre-deployment training for Herrick 14, even though I never went out, unfortunately. A lot of the formations were single file, and the reason for that is because of IEDs and stuff like that. Afghan was a different scenario where you really had to be in a single formation. And so obviously this is more of a jungle kind of situation where maybe they're not really worried as much about IEDs because they're storming a place that's already been, you know, they've seen enemy in that area, so they know that there's not going to be that much worry of IEDs. And so they're forming this kind of like lined formation here with people at the back here. My presumption is at the back here, maybe it's some sort of troop commander, maybe it's some sort of comms going on, getting a grasp of what's going on. Yeah, I mean, good stuff right here. Really good stuff. Moving forward, weapons up. keeping an eye on what's going on, making sure that your oppos are in line with you, make sure you're not going too far in front of them. Sometimes you would form a different type of formation, like more of like an arrowhead formation. And what that does is it helps people, it helps give a better angle of shooting. So if you're in an arrowhead formation, so let's say that you're looking down, instead of being straight like this, right? If you came under the contacts on the left or right, only one person can shoot and the other people have to move to become in a line of sight of that person. Whereas if you're in a pointed formation, which is something we would use a lot, if you came under contacts on the right or left, you've got a whole side here that can take under contact, and this other side can just basically merge into the other side. And so there's reasons why I think a straight line of formation moving forward isn't as effective as maybe like an arrow formation in a way. But at the same time, again, different SOPs for different troops. So we'll see. The last thing these guys want to do is come into contact on the left or right, because look at the formation. It'd be a nightmare. I really like this camouflage, the Indonesian camouflage. Really like it. Alright, so they're being told where to go, what to do. Jungle survivor training, okay. So I don't know whether this is necessarily them on guard or whether it is patrolling. It looks like they are patrolling in a way. Sometimes what we would do is if we were on exercise, we would... I'll let it play while it goes on. We would move, even if it was like an unrealistic scenario where we're just moving from one lesson to the other lesson, we would move in a formation just to practice them drills. And that's what this might be. They might be going to a certain area just to do some more training, but they're utilizing that time of moving from one space to the other to learn a bit of movement and formation. Although right here, they are getting into a bit of a firefight, so it's a little bit different here. Looks humid as hell there, doesn't it? Guys are sweating like crazy. They need to be drinking a lot of water. Oh, that looks sketch. That looks super sketch. Doesn't it? That looks super sketch. Okay, I like this. The formation, they're obviously patrolling this area. They're off to the side of the actual path, which is always nice. Yeah, nothing I can complain about there. Looks really good. Hey, up, we got a lone runner. I know we got a couple lads coming up behind. I bet the dialogue barrier between them is pretty difficult. There's some things during a firefight though that doesn't need actual language and more just needs like fucking look that way. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't actually need to say anything. Okay, we got some CQB going on here. Taking charge of a room. Looking behind them. Going in. Stacking up. Bobby basic stuff here being trained. They're in a line.
Push up, push up. We're going left or right? We're going, just go straight. Hey, what do you guys need us? All right.
I'm presuming all them rooms we were just running past have already been covered and been cleared. I like that. Did you notice that then? You notice this? See, there's like a massive window right here. And going into this room right here on the left, there's a window on the right here. And you've got this one US lad just in front of this Indonesian lad here. He's looking at the window, which is really important. See that? He's looking straight at the window. Very important. Lots of good close-ups here, isn't there? Of them sweating the tits off. I feel like if someone had the camera in my face, I'd be a bit like... You know what I mean? Alright, so I guess that was only a little bit of CQB going on there. What's this? Grenade launcher live firing. Oh, this is fun.
It's gonna rotate, and the first round's gonna be against the. Kamu mau ngosongkan untuk dia kembali lagi, hold dia
Yeah, the language barrier must be very difficult for training. These lads, these US lads in the background are sweating their tits. All these guys hanging out of his hoop. He's like, oh, I'm struggling here, guys. I never got to shoot one of these, which is such a shame. I did get to shoot an underslung grenade launcher on my SA-80, and I loved it. I thought it was one of the best things to shoot. That, like, very typical, like, thoom, is really good. Although we did a lot of, I don't know if people know this, but they do basically, like, fake versions of these grenade launchers, right? The underslung grenade launcher on the SA-80 fires the regular ones, but they have basically the little grenades, but instead it's kind of like paint in the front, like a massive paintball, and you shoot it like you would with any other regular grenade launcher. But then when it hits, because it's a training exercise, it shoots up a bunch of smoke, which is really cool, a bunch of like paint and stuff. Really fun to shoot. I had a lot of fun doing that. Boink. Oh, I guess this is a bit different than just a thunk that you get on the SA-80, innit? Heavy bit of kit, that. Heavy bit of kit. Is a Balater... What did that say then? It's designed to promote regional security, cooperations, and enhance maritime interoperability. I didn't read that properly then. Which coincides with 75 years of diplomatic relations between the US and Indonesia. Get the rounds down, lad. That's a thick belt there, isn't it? I wonder how many grenades they get on that there. Probably no more than 25, 30, maybe 50 at max. In that little thing, probably like 25, isn't it? Something like that. I can't see there being many in the can. Well, maybe like 30, 40. I don't know. There you go. All right, what we're looking at here. Mortar firing. It's one thing I never did that I wanted to learn in the military in the Royal Marines was mortar firing. Being part of the mortars team in the Royal Marines is like it's quite a prestigious. It's a unique group. If anyone knows, they knows. Mortars is a unique group in the Royal Marines. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna say prestigious. I'm gonna say unique. There's a lot of people that wanted to be on the mortars team. Slow motion. Boom. Off it goes.
Yeah. That's what happens in combat, man, buddy.
Get it in there then.
Hanging on 2, charge 1. Go too far.
Let's go. Oh, it's a drone. Isn't this crazy? We're seeing this a lot in Ukraine and Russia now, where they're using drones for bombs and stuff. Like, the advancement of military training is crazy, isn't it? Like, they're using drones now for bombs and what looks like that's potentially just smoke. But, like, think about how crazy that is. We never had that when I was in the Royal Marines, and that was only 10 years ago. Crazy. They go into the demolition range. Let's go. One thing I never really wanted to get into when I was in the Royal Marines was demolition. Never really was interested in that. I don't know why. It was just never really on my radar. Boom. Where's his? Boom. All clear, guys. The way that he just stood up then. All clear, guys. I like that. I like that a lot.
One more.
Counting the lads. Make sure none of them got lost in the woods. I love watching this cooperation between different countries. I think it's really unique and interesting to see, you know, both countries that have different SOPs and different standards of military training working together. It's such an interesting thing to see and very important for the advancement of military tactics. Very important. I think we're practically at the end here. We've got a last little bit using the what we would call rigid raiders, basically small inflatable vessels. Great bits of kit, actually. Very good bits of kit and very fast and very effective. They're all going for a little dip, a little cheeky swim, see if they can find anything fun. Yeah, it's just them. I think it's just them riding about for a bit, and then it's just going to end right here, I think. Yeah, so cool little exercise. Exercise CARAT. Is it C-A-R-A-T? It could be spelled differently, but that's my presumption of what it is. Yeah, great video. Really interesting to see. Like I said, I really like watching these cooperative exercises. I think it's really important that militaries around the world, especially the militaries that are important to me, like the US and the British military, do a lot of these things so that we can upgrade our tactics, learn new things, and constantly keep evolving and getting better. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done anything like this. Are you a veteran? Have you ever worked with other militaries? We did. I worked with the Polish military, which was really, really cool. I had a lot of fun with them. They did a lot of drinking. It was really cool to see. But let me know if you've done anything similar in the comment section down below. I really enjoyed that video. There'll be a link down below to the original video. Let me know what you want me to watch next. Comment it down below. I want your feedback. I love seeing your comments. I read every single one of them. So yeah, comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.